And I planets end up next to you, and the fences still today. Cause there ain't no... Well, hello and welcome into this... I did that deliberately. This Monday's tier. Continuation of our sort of tier list video from yesterday, Stephen, where we ranked our top 50 films from the noughties, the 2000s. We categorised them into their various sections, and today, Stephen, we're going to dedicate a little bit more time into discussing them and ranking them literally 50 through to 1. And I mean, there's no point mucking around. Let's get fucking right into it. Of course, I haven't captured anything, so you're going to have to bear with me here for a second while I'll bring it up. There you go. And of course, not zoomed in enough, so let's zoom it in and move it over there. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm changing things. I'm looking at the wrong screen here. Such a sausage, I really am. Bring that up a little bit bigger. Move it up, for fuck's sake. A bit of a nightmare this, isn't it? Right, here we go. Stephen, here we go. We have honourable mentions way down in the bottom, and they are comprised of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Star Trek from 2009, School of Rock. Why the fuck School of Rock in honourable mentions? Super Bad, Revenge of the Sith, and The Wrestler. So that's them. They're out the way. Stephen, the reason I put a Half-Blood Prince in was, as I said yesterday, I wanted to speak about it. It's my personal favourite Harry Potter film. But I think in terms of excellence and the gold standard, some people will argue Chamber of Secrets and the Philosopher's Stone, not the Sorcerer's Stone, the Philosopher's Stone. But for me, not Goblet of Fire, for fuck's sake, Prisoner of Azkaban is the greatest Harry Potter film. First one with an inkling of darkness. But that's why I put, anyway, I digress, that's why I put Harry Potter in there, 2 Harry Potter films, despite the fact they're not anywhere near the level of The Lord of the Rings, where we have all 3. Stephen, shall we start in the 50 to 41 category? Stephen, as it sits right now, we have Minority Report in at number 50. I've never seen the film, so I'm going to, and of course there's another film in there I've not seen, in Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. So I would have, and The Machinist as well. I fucking clearly, and I don't watch a lot of films. No, it's 3 out of 50, 4 out of 50. Give me a fucking break. What would you rank at 50, Stephen, out in this list? Because we've got Pirates of the Caribbean, the Hunt for the Black Pearl, is it? Or the Curse of the Black Pearl. Collateral, The Bourne Identity, The Butterfly Effect, Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, Prisoner of Azkaban, 300, the others, and The Machinist. I think The Machinist, despite me not having seen it, probably is the best of all those films.
Well, John, I mean, it's all subjective, to be fair, but in terms of number 50, I would probably say Pirates of the Caribbean.
I wouldn't argue.
With The Butterfly Effect at 49.
Yep.
I don't know how high, John, you know I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so I've not seen that film, so I don't know how high you would rank that in this, or if you would maybe want to put it up to the next tier, I'm not sure.
No, I'm quite content with that being probably in that tier. I mean, it's a pretty fucking good film. I do enjoy it a lot. There's a lot going on in there. Obviously, Hermione's doing a lot of time travel and stuff. She's got a time turner. You have got the introduction of Sirius Black, Gary Oldman. You've got the likes of David Thewlis in there, the Defence Against the Dark Arts teacher. You've got the whole subplot of Severus Snape and going back in his sort of younger years and the way he was treated by James Potter, Harry's father, his group of friends, which is Peter Pettigrew, Timothy Spall, Sirius Black, Gary Oldman. I always forget David Thewlis' character's name, Remus Lupin. Sort of, they kind of bullied him and mistreated him. There's a whole lot going on in there, Stephen. There's just something about Harry Potter. They've got it on Sky just now. A whole sort of channel dedicated to playing them back to back. There's something about the franchise that has that rewatchability. You can settle into any one of those films, and it just, I don't know, maybe it's the kid that still lingers within, but I get whisked away, and I enjoy watching them tremendously. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
But this is the cream of the crop for me. It is the best. I don't know. You could maybe put it up, but I mean, there's a lot of good movies in there. So
Yeah. I mean,
where the
it's
fuck?
it's
Where you
entirely
putting
your
it?
call, John. I've not seen the film, so I can't say it should be at number 41 or number 50. So
I don't
we'll leave
think
that
it's
up to you.
better than any of the films above. I mean, I'm quite content having it in there. I'd probably have it near the top.
Yeah.
I'd probably say
John,
it's better
in
than
terms of-
300.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of
It's a different kind of film.
48, I think Minority Report's just into the right space there, actually. I think those, I think after that, probably The Others.
Mhm.
The Others is a really good film. So I'd probably have The Others just after or just before Minority Report.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll put it in there.
And at 46 or whatever it is. 47.
47, yeah. 40, 50, 49, 48, 47, yeah, put it there.
Yeah. And then
You've got
It's-
Collateral, Born Identity. I think the Born Identity is a better film than Collateral.
Collateral. Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
Collateral's a really good film. I enjoyed it, but the Born Identity kick-started a franchise. And it's
John,
a
I'll
franchise
tell you
that still get sort of reverberations in terms of that genre. Because it forced Bond to think
think,
about what it was doing and modernise. So, I mean, that's high praise indeed. And Matt Damon was tailor-made for that role.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on in there, a lot of elements I like in that film. Sort of guy on the run.
Is there any from the honourable mentions you would put into that
The only
role?
one I would probably put up, Stephen, I mean, they're all great movies. They are all great movies. I really enjoyed Star Trek, the reboot, as I said. I was a big Trekkie growing up and really enjoyed the original series, and I loved the likes of James Tiberius Kirk and Spock, Uhura, Chekhov. Why am I blanking on other characters' names? The fucking Doctor, Montgomery Scott. Why am I blanking on the Doctor?
Yeah.
Bones McCoy. And what they did, was it DeForest Kelly that played Bones McCoy, Shatner, and obviously Leonard Nimoy, all these incredible actors that made those roles synonymous with their names. It was an unthankful sort of, is that even the right English? An unwelcome sort of role to be gave to go in and recast those characters, but I thought they'd done a fucking great job. Having said that, I mean, are they better than any of the films above? I just think Pirates at 50. It's such an iconic franchise now, looking back, and it did get sort of less, the sort of returns you got, ever diminishing returns were definitely there as the franchise moved further and further out from that first movie. But the first movie is a great sort of pirate action comedy, larger than life sort of experience through obviously Captain Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp, but Steve, you get kind of, like I said, Orlando Bloom in there. You've got Keira Knightley in there at her absolute pomp. I always forget your man that played, is it David? What was it, Davy Jones? I can't remember what the actual villain was.
It was.
Forget his name. The actor.
I know Bill Nye.
Bill Nye was in the second.
He was. Was he not Davy Jones?
He may have been Davy Jones.
Yeah, Jeffrey Rush.
Is it Barbarossa?
Yeah, Jeffrey. Yeah. Captain. Yeah, that's it.
It's a great movie, Stephen, so I think it definitely deserves to be in there. It's a brilliant movie. The Butterfly Effect, I think, is a pretty good fucking time travel movie as well.
Yep.
I get personal enjoyment out of that. I've not seen the Minority Report, so I can't speak on that. The only other movie, Stephen, I'd probably stretch to put up just because of its influence would be School of Rock, but you're struggling to fit it in there.
Yeah, you shift any of them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're struggling. Where are you going to put it?
You could say the same for Superbad, John.
Yeah.
An incredibly funny film. Some of the best comedic actors appearing in that film as well, and just, I mean, it's one of those movies that was just a product of its time as well.
I was going to say that. Loads of movies of that ilk out at that time, but for me, that's one of the actual gold standard versions.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the likes of American Pie and Road Trip. They weren't kind of like that, but they were kind of similar kind of humour for like teenagers and whatnot coming up. The type of people who would like the fucking, what was it, National Geographic song or some shite that was out. You know what that song I'm talking about? At that time, that was the films that they were watching. And then obviously the evolution of that's like a Pineapple Express and whatnot with Franco and Rogan.
Yeah, John, another honourable mention that Matthew has actually put in the comment section is Dead Man Shoes.
Oh my God, it's not there.
Yeah, it's not there, John. It's,
Holy fuck, totally forgot. That'd be in a top 10, potentially.
Yeah.
Top 20.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about
I
Dead Man
said,
Shoes.
John, what was the film I mentioned just before we came on as well? I said we've left that out as well. I can't remember, but you'd said, it shows you the sort of high standard of films.
Yeah, I mean,
that were
Dead
out
Man
in the
Shoes
UK.
is one of the very, very best films to ever be made and put out from the British Isles.
Yeah.
It's your man that did This Is England, wasn't it? And obviously Paddy Considine and a whole host of other. I mean, it's
Shane Meadows,
a fucking great movie. A funny movie, dark comedy in there, violent, but really clever the way that they wrote the story with the brother and obviously. What was it? Anthony was a brother. What was he called again?
Richard.
Richard.
Yeah.
Obviously Paddy Considine. Just a phenomenal film. And
John,
Sonny and all the other gang. Really
rare films at the very end that actually makes you cry. It's such a sad story, you know. As you mentioned, in terms of the construction of the storytelling, a nice little twist and really jaw dropping at the same time. I mean, I don't know why we missed that, but I mean, it's an honourable mention now, I suppose. We can't really slot it in now. We've kind of
we've not got it there. Yeah.
But no, 41 to 50. 41 to 50, yeah. Superimpose it in and we'll just dub our voices. 41 to 50, I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, I'm as well. I think that's fair. 31 to 40, Stephen, we've got There Will Be Blood, not seen it. Crash, Slumdog Millionaire, The Last King of Scotland, Gangs of New York, my dog's flopping over behind me, The Aviator, Man on Fire, I can't read, Man on Fire.
Man on Fire.
Yes. 28 Days Later, Mystic River, Lost in Translation, we've got at number 31 just now.
John, I would probably, I think The Aviator is probably number 40 for me.
Yeah.
Followed by Slumdog Millionaire.
Probably I would say, just because I was bored with that film when I watched it. I mean, I'm not doing down the brilliance of the period and the sort of technical stuff he captured and the performances in there, because you've got two brilliant actors. I mean, I'm not going to class Cameron Diaz as a brilliant actor. She's not on the level of Leonardo DiCaprio or Daniel Day-Lewis. Fucking ridiculous. But I'm not doing them down, but it was a thoroughly boring movie for me, a real disappointment. I'm, again, aware it is a top 50 movie because of what it is. Just my personal opinion, it was a bit tedious, so I've got it there. I don't know if you'd put it before There Will Be Blood.
No. I probably wouldn't, John, to be honest.
Would you rank that above or below? There Will Be Blood.
This is really hard, by the way. Really, really hard. Do you know something? I'd probably go with There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
At 37. What is it? 37?
37, yeah.
Yeah, 37. Crash.
Bang, Wallop, what a video.
Crash, bang, yeah, Wallop, yeah. Lost in Translation.
Lost in Translation, I would probably put at number 6. Number 6. 46.
36.
No, 36,
40, 39, 37, 38, 50. Yeah, I'm trying to reverse engineer this. 40, 38, 37, so in there, in the middle. And then you've really got 28 Days Later. I think Mystic River's probably the best of that bunch, personally.
Yep.
I would say 28 Days Later would probably deserve to be there. It's really a toss-up between these two in terms of where you would rank.
I would say, for me personally, The Last King of Scotland is a better film than Man on Fire, which is a tremendous film.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, they're all good movies, Stephen, at this point. I mean, I personally think they're just different kinds of movies. I mean, you look at the the variants. You've got fucking historical dramas. You've got sort of rags to riches, feel good stuff in there. You've got really racial tension, human condition stuff, action, and fucking zombie infected stuff. You've got a wide variety. Not one is any better than the other, really. It's just personal preference, ultimately. It's all subjective. 21 to 30. Oh, we've got quite a fucking variety in there again. I'm not getting any chat, by the way. You said that Matthew was commenting. I'm seeing nothing.
I don't think it's live chat. I think it's in the static chat, John.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I was wondering.
I'm seeing the notifications coming through on the email. That's the only reason I'm seeing it.
It just makes me wonder. I'm just concerned, but we definitely are live here, yeah, and it's selected the right stream. Yep, it is.
I'm watching it, John. I'm watching it live.
Yeah, it's all right. That's cool. Hunky dory.
Secretly watching us.
Secretly watching us from afar. You've got to look for technical gremlins. I'm just amazed my dog isn't panting, by the way, because an absolute nuclear fucking bomb went off in the background about 2-3 minutes ago. Just ridiculously loud. And clearly my soothing voice is, Kermit the Frog voice is keeping them calm. Don't know how. Stephen, with this, we've got Memento at 21. We've got letters from Iwo Jima at 22. Zodiac at 23. Shaun of the Dead at 24. Brokeback Mountain 25. Hot Fuzz 26. Casino Royale 27. Gran Torino 28. Departed 29. Half 30. I would actually say that's close to fucking perfection. I mean, what would you change it?
I don't know if I'd have letters from
that far up.
As high as that.
Maybe put that back down here.
I would maybe put it mid-range, John.
Yeah.
I think in terms of...
I think in terms of what it represents and the ambition, I think that probably puts it above even Casino Royale for me. Casino Royale was a great reboot of the James Bond franchise. It was exhilarating, brilliantly shot, lots of stuff going on in there. Daniel Craig was fantastic, but ultimately, this is our personal top 50 that we're coming to an agreement on. And neither of us are massive James Bond fans.
No,
I just find
that speaks volumes of this film, though, John. That both you and I are not massive James Bond films, but we actually love this film.
It deserves to be top 30 for sure. I think it's a great fucking James Bond film.
I think there should be a bigger gap between Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. I love both films, but in terms of those films, I don't think Hot Fuzz is anywhere as good. Shaun of the Dead.
Would you put it at 30?
I would probably put Hot Fuzz at 30, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is still pretty good for a comedy.
It's fucking good,
amongst all that, you know?
Yeah. Shaun of the Dead, I think, is definitely near the top end just for what it represents. It's a brilliant alternate take on a kind of zombie film. Really funny. It's Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg and whatnot at their absolute fucking gold standard best. So I think that definitely deserves to be up there. It's really whereabouts up there it deserves to be.
Yeah,
Where would you rank Gran Torino, Stephen, and The Departed? Do you think they're at the right place?
You know something, Gran Torino's always been a bit of a it's a very enjoyable film for me, John. It's one of those films I could just sit and watch continuously. It's a really good film. Bit self-indulgent for myself, but I think in terms of where that should be placed, should it be I would actually probably just rate it higher than Casino Royale, John. I probably would. I'd probably switch those two around.
It's a really, I don't know, poignant story about obviously initial, dare I say it, xenophobia, and sort of, how shall I put it, ignorant viewpoints, and then they come together, these worlds collide, and they both rub off on each other. And ultimately he ends up leaving his car, his prized possession, to this young kid. So it's a really poignant story about an old guy who's been through the fucking emotional ringer. He's an ex-veteran, and a young kid who's growing up and is quite, not personable, but there's a word for it. Pliant.
It's such a, the evolution of the Walt character, John, for me is just what I watch it for. It's just that intolerance he's got for the ethnic Community. And where he ends up at the very end of the film is it's very inspiring.
But Stephen, it's not like current day ignorance of like
No. It's
diversity and whatnot. I mean, it's understandable. The guy's a man of World War II, and they were at war with Japan, and Japan did some horrendous fucking things like Pearl Harbor and whatnot, and also the actual theatre of conflict in the Pacific. There was some horrendous stuff going on, man. They were crazy bastards, the Japanese, and obviously the Americans would have committed atrocities as well. I'm not fucking kidding myself here that they were goody two-shoes, but that forms the viewpoint of the character. That's why he is the way he is. And he has to go through a journey, and it's a really fucking brilliantly written movie. It's a classic Clint Eastwood kind of movie. Just kicks you in the balls repeatedly on an emotional level. It's a brilliant film.
I love the humour as well. It's very dark.
Yeah, he's got his own son in there.
The barbershop scenes. Fantastic. Really it's that kind of humour you get in a factory full of men.
Yeah.
It's like they're just men's men, and that kind of humour, that you wouldn't get away with speaking in front of a lady.
And obviously Scott, his son, was in there, and he's sort of moseying up with the...
He's a dick.
Yeah, and he takes absolute piss out his own son in the film, so... And again, that's an important message, Stephen, because even the black community doesn't want these fucking weirdos trying to be them. You don't want that. You've got to be yourself and stop trying to gain favour with other individuals. You look like a fucking clown. You can't pull it off, I always say that. Black people are the best in the world at dressing. It doesn't matter what they put on, they look fucking incredible. We can't do that. Us fucking pale white cast with a ghost motherfuckers, we just look shit and everything. So they look good in that. You look like a fucking idiot. And he gets that, he conveys that point brilliantly.
Everything's shit.
It's true. That's why a lot of the idiotic sort of racist elements in the white community always do my nutting, because certainly over here they love to go to tanning booths and try and make their skin as dark as possible, and it really confuses me. I'm like, so you're incredibly racist and backward in your viewpoints, but you want to become darker? Okay. Doesn't make sense to me, but fair play. But no, Stephen, I agree. I think that deserves to be up there. And it's quite fitting. We've got two Clint Eastwood films together. Brokeback. I mean, again, I ain't seen it, but I understand the influence, and certainly on a pop cultural level, I mean, I think it still has some sort of relevance.
John, I mean, it's subjective. I can imagine a lot of other YouTube channels doing the same thing, would have Brokeback Mountain as one of their top 10. I get that. I totally understand it, John. But again, this is just personal choice more than anything. Mm-hmm. And what you got out of it, obviously you got nothing out of it because you never saw it. But I would probably keep it there. Based on that, because you've seen Shaun of the Dead, you've seen Zodiac, and you've seen Memento.
It really comes down to whether, having mentioned those two, I mean, I think Shaun of the Dead's perfect there. I wouldn't rate it above Zodiac or Memento. It comes down to whether you rate Zodiac higher than Memento or not, and I would be inclined to say that I probably do rate Zodiac higher than Memento. Memento I enjoy, it's a good film, it's a great entry point for no one, but it's not his strongest film. I know people like to reminisce with the nostalgia glasses and say it's his best film he ever put out. It fucking isn't. And I understand it's subjective, but you're wrong and I'm right, it isn't. It's a good film, really good film. It's really clever, the way that he wrote it. And I love that type of shit where people are questioning reality and they're trying to formulate things and get to some sort of objective. I've seen it done in many other movies, not as well as it is in Memento. So I do like it, that's why it's so high up. But for me, Zodiac, Stephen, the cast, sort of serial killer fucking shit going on in there, and they're trying to, I mean, it's just all consuming. I mean, just for that poster alone, what a fucking poster. It's absolutely sensational. When I was searching it up, I forgot how good the poster was.
I think as well, John. You know, we were big fans of the X-Files back in the day, and Zodiac, for me, has that Monster of the Week element to it. Although the Zodiac is obviously based off a true story, but it has that vibe to it, that sort of feel, that sort of X-Files Monster of the Week. You know, those separate episodes they used to do, and they did so well. And as you said, Robert Downey Jr. in there, Mark Ruffalo, Jake Gyllenhaal,
John Carroll
phenomenal
Lynch,
cast.
Chloe Sevigny. It's a fucking great cast, even the sort of lesser players. It's a phenomenal cast. It's undoubtedly one of the best movies of the 2000s. And that's why it's sadly it's not as good as the movies above it. That's why it's where it is, in our opinion. But again, we are right. So I think it deserves to be the top of the 21 to 30. I think it's the 21st. It's not quite breaking into top 20 for us guys. And it's right up there. All the known fanboys will be coming after us and saying, these fucking clowns. I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, they've got Tarantino in the top 20 multiple times and not put Nolan's finest work in the top 20. No, we haven't. Because his best work comes after. Yeah, we literally have got his best work in the top 20, you fucking clown shoe. You've got 2 movies in there. You've got Dark Knight and Batman Begins. Nolan movies, you sausage. Yeah, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So, fuck off, Nolan fanboys. We've got 3 in here. 2 are in the top 10. As a Swedish streamer used to say, sucker, and I'll leave it there. 11 to 20.
Yeah, John, as Donnie Darko said, how does one suck a fuck? Yeah.
It's not what he said.
I love that line.
He used to say that, that is a good line to be fair. And speaking of Donnie Darko, Stephen, how high up would you rank Donnie Darko in the context of what we have in this?
Yeah, it's definitely the top half of this section, John. I'd keep it where it is actually at the moment.
Yeah.
Because we've got a beautiful mind in there. And we've got No Country for Old Men.
I would leave $1 Million Baby where it is at the end. I think that's maybe 20.
Yeah.
The Prestige, again, and that's another Nolan movie, by the way. We've got 4 Nolan movies in the top fucking 30. Fucking Nolan fanboy here. Love the guy. And I'm saying we've only got 1 fucking Nolan. We've got 4 Nolan movies, you fucking absolute imbecile. I mean, I've really enjoyed the movie, Stephen. Also, Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale. It's a really interesting story. It is a bit long for me, but it's fine. Not worrying about running time, and the great Christopher Nolan's working his magic. In terms of ranking, I would definitely rank it further up the top 20 because we've got other movies in here. And people, again, I can hear them saying Iron Man above The Prestige. Have you lost your fucking mind? No, I haven't. Because I think it's a more succinct, different kind of film, but it's equally brilliant and equally important because what it buffed gave me some really happy moments in my life in the theatre.
Yeah, John, I know this is probably controversial, but I think Fellowship of the Ring is probably sitting in at 15, number 15.
Yeah, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 in here. No, I don't think it's controversial at all, Stephen.
I think it's a good set-up film, John. It's there's a lot of dialogue, there's a lot of walking, but not much more. But Sean Bean's in there for a while.
One merely doesn't walk into murder. There are millions of orcs and poisonous air and the great eye. It never sleeps. Not even 1 million or 1,000 men could do this. I can't remember the exact. Sean Bean couldn't remember the line either. That's why he had it on his knee, and he kept looking down pensively at his knee. But Stephen, I mean, Boromir, what a character. He's not really in the movie all that long when you think about it. He is. He's maybe just over halfway through. He obviously gets killed by the Uruk-hai. But that scene alone with Frodo, it just shows you the corruption involved. And this guy is one of Gondor's best. He's he's deemed to be better than Faramir. As Faramir is his brother, I'm pretty sure. And obviously he is almost being, I don't know, corrupted by the ring just by being in its mere presence. You see that in that scene with Frodo. It's a great movie, Stephen. It was incredible in the theatres. I've never seen anything fucking like it. But it is just the starting point of a far greater experience. And the greater of the experience is definitely experienced in the final 2 movies.
Yeah.
I think that's there's great moments in this. The sort of the Nazgul stuff on Weathertop, I think. And obviously when they spear him, the introduction is pure goosebumps. With, blank on her name, Kate Blanchett, doing that monologue. And obviously you get to see Hugo Weaving's Elrond and the elves fighting side by side with men to take on Sauron in the Second Age. It's a fucking incredible film, but there's better movies above it.
Yeah. John, in terms of Spider-Man, the original movie from 2002, I would say that's probably number 16.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's a good origins film, but what came after it, and I will talk about it because it's in the top 10.
Just now.
It just sort of laid down the foundation, similar to Fellowship of the Ring, in terms of its sort of cinematic setup for the sequels. So,
like you said last night, Stephen, a great origin story.
Yeah,
it was that good that they couldn't beat it, and it's why they have to stop really making origin stories with Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean, they tried a different sort of angle with the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man. And I think they did it really well. But for me, this is the sort of benchmark in terms of origin films. I thought Tobey Maguire was perfectly cast as Peter Parker Spider-Man. You've got Willem Dafoe in there as the Green Goblin.
Somewhat of a scientist myself.
James Franco is obviously Harry Osborn. So, and Kirsten Dunst in there as Mary Jane. So, a very tight cast, and considering the three of them
stands up, Stephen, as well. I think on a technical level, even now, I think it still stands up. So and it's Sam Raimi.
I've not seen it in a while, John, but I don't know how long ago it was, but in terms of the visual effects, I don't think they dated badly. There might be some iffy moments in there, but from what I recall, I don't think it's aged terribly.
No, I don't think so. Admittedly, I haven't seen it in a while either. So maybe fucking terrible, maybe talking shit.
Yeah, your man's in that. He plays the bully in the first film. And
Dave Franco?
Peter Parker. It's your man
his friend, isn't it?
I'm blanking on his name. Is it
James Franco who plays his friend, or is it Dave?
What's his name? Joe. I can't remember.
Joe
his name.
Manganiello.
Yeah,
Joe Manganiello.
He's playing what's the character's name? He's an absolute gimp in the Tom Holland ones. The character.
I'll find out. 2 seconds. Been a while.
Joe Manganiello. Flash Thompson.
Yeah, he is a
He's in there as well.
in the Tom Holland ones. What happened to the actor? But he is a twat. The character's a fucking bellend.
You've got J.K. Simmons, obviously, as well.
Yeah. He's brilliant. Why am I seeing Neil Patrick Harris? What the fuck?
Yeah.
He wasn't in Spider-Man. What?
Who's this?
Patrick Harris. It's not. It's bringing up absolute fucking gibberish. Nonsense.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's bringing up actors who've played Spider-Man. That's not what I asked. Useless, honestly.
Did you not do voice work for the animated stuff? I can't remember.
I think he may have done, yeah. But no, Stephen, it's a really important. I mean, I've always loved Spider-Man. He's always been one of my favourite, if not my favourite comic book characters. And I feel privileged to have grown up seeing those movies. They're really high calibre movies, the two of them. Also, the third one's not quite as good. And also, with it being Spider-Man, and also Tobey Maguire done a phenomenal job in the sort of leading role. And it's obviously defined his career moving forward to the point where I can't even think of any other fucking films Tobey's been in that are anywhere near that level. But that's the Elijah Wood, Tobey Maguire curse that they have to carry. Frodo Baggins and Peter Parker for all time, for eternity. And there's worse things to happen to you, let's be honest. Just ask Mark Hamill. Stephen, Kill Bill. Would you keep Kill Bill where it is? Do you think it's better than Catch Me If You Can, Donnie Darko, or No Country for Old Men, or The Fellowship of the Ring, or Iron Man indeed? Would you keep Iron Man where it is?
I would keep Iron Man where it is, yeah. I think it's a better film than the ones like Spider-Man and Kill Bill, etc. I think Kill Bill's actually situated just in the right spot.
Because we're viewing that as a double.
Yeah. A Beautiful Mind for me is probably too high up. I think it's an incredible film.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to put that fucking right down as far as... That's my dog coughing up his entire stomach. Wonderful. I'm happy to put that down round about here.
Yeah.
Don't know if you agree. I
Yeah,
think
I
we
would.
said 15, didn't we, for the Lord of the Rings anyway? So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's in 15th.
Yeah. In terms of the last three, though,
I think No Country for Old Men. I think that's first team. I rate Donnie Darko really highly. I think that's a brilliant, brilliant film. Just it's got everything going for it. Atmosphere, sort of suspense, thriller sort of stuff going on, borderline supernatural stuff. Well, I mean, not borderline, literal supernatural. He's seen a fucking full-on rabbit, demonic-looking rabbit, in the most ridiculous of places. So
that orb that comes out his stomach,
yeah,
as well.
and again, it's doing things with time, which I've always said is one of my favourite concepts in a film or a TV show. When they dabble with time and
yeah, I mean, there's some iconic scenes in that film as well, with Jake Gyllenhaal, and that one where the teachers try to lump everything between, I can't remember what the two categories are, but he's not having it. And he says, you can't just lump everything into two categories. That's not how life works.
Yeah,
it's just,
that's true.
He's so passionate about
yes.
the what he's trying to, convey to the classroom, and his belief in what he's saying as well. And he does it again with Jim Cunningham, the Patrick Swayze character, in the auditorium.
Takes him to task.
But I think the Jim Cunningham is trying to belittle Donnie in a way where you're a troubled man, and my program could help you. He's bringing him down, and he's not having it. So
it's quite ironic, Stephen, that even now, I mean, that movie was like 20 odd years ago, and we've still got these kind of characters floating about in like a political sense and other senses, sort of hanging around teenage figures and whatnot, and like young adults, and try to control discourse and whatnot. It's really interesting that we've still got that kind of stuff going on. It's just, but no, I mean, it was one of my all-time favourite films, just everything about it, even the visuals, you think, of like the colour palette. Some really interesting stuff going on with sort of colours and the music and the era it's set in. It was doing that sort of Stranger Things type of thing before they were doing it. In terms of being inspired by that 1980s, late 80s kind of, I would say mid-80s. What was the time period, Stephen? You'll probably know better than me.
I think it's 88, John.
88,
I think it's set in.
Yeah. It was doing that thing way before everyone else get obsessed with the 1980s and set all of the fucking films in that period.
They were doing it in a way where it wasn't that, the way the Wedding Singer does it, it's full-blown 80s everything.
Yeah.
You've got the DeLoreans in there, you've got the hairspray, the perms, and the soundtrack's beating you over the head. Donnie Darko doesn't do that. It's a very subtle way that they've done it. They've set it in late 80s, behind a backdrop of really, really good music. And, in terms of the fashion, I don't think it really stands out. It's not really went full-blown 1980s like George Michael's sort of Faith or anything like that.
Yeah, but Steve, I didn't grow up in the 1980s. I was born right at the end of the 1980s, 1989 to be precise. I grew up in the 90s. And when you see things set in the 1990s now, it's ridiculous. Everything's fucking luminous and multicoloured and baggy. That's not my recollection of the 1990s. My recollection of the 1990s is people walking about with stonewash, sort of tapered jeans, Fruit of the Loom, fucking Benetton, just plain, thick cotton white t-shirts, and that's what they were wearing. They weren't wearing things like this, Timberland boots and stuff like that, Rockport boots. That was what they were wearing. But you've watched TV shows or films set in the 1990s now, and it's like everybody's the Fresh Prince of fucking Bel-Air. It's not reality. So that's more accurate. That's more accurate to do it like that, because that's what people would have been kicking about like. Not everybody wore these exuberant, mental, colourful outfits.
No.
So that's a more
John,
faithful.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy. I'm happy with that 11 to 20.
I think that's pretty good, yeah. I mean, Catch Me If You Can's a great movie as well. It deserves to be in there. I don't think it's quite good enough to pop in there just purely because of the films we've got above it. But Steve, we're on to 1 to 10. And also we rank it reverse, 10 down to 1. Pick your number one film. This is going to be fucking really tough because there's some unbelievable films in there. I mean, not one of them are bad. They're all phenomenal.
Yeah, John, do you know something I was thinking about earlier? And, when we got to the 1980s, I knew what my number one was going to be. We got to the 1990s and I was swaying over 3 films.
Yeah.
This is going to be tough, this one. It's a really tough one.
What did we pick in the 1990s? We picked Shawshank, but what was second again? I think it may have been... Was it Heat?
It was...
Heat was third. Shawshank, and what was the other one?
It was... I actually was thinking about it all day now. I can't remember now.
Can't remember.
Yeah, I'll come back to us. But
that's annoying.
Can't remember. Forrest Gump?
No, Forrest Gump was way farther up.
4 or 5? Can't remember.
I can't remember. That's annoying. That's annoying me. It was fucking neck and neck as well. It was neck and neck.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, at the point is we were struggling. Stephen, this is going to be an equal struggle because, I mean, I fucking genuinely, honest to God, these are all unbelievable films. I'm struggling to even figure out what I would put at 10. Yeah, and I'm kind of swaying towards probably Batman Begins at number 10. Because it is a brilliant introduction.
I'm pretty sure we had Batman Begins in the category below at one point, didn't we?
Yeah. I mean, it's a great movie. It's a phenomenal origin story for Batman. It introduces a sort of gritty, more realistic telling of Batman. Which is an evolution of what Tim Burton did with the 1960s, 50s cartoon. With the lycra spandex. It continued that evolution. And I'm totally cutting out fucking Joel Schumacher and the other people who've done Batman prior to that, by the way. Understand that. And there's a reason for that. But I would put it at 10 on that list. When you go to 9...
So what have we got?
We've got American Psycho, Downfall, Gladiator, Inglourious Bastards, Two Towers, Return of the King, The Two Towers, Spider-Man 2, The Dark Knight and The Pianist.
Oh, this is tough. But this is paining me to say this, but I think perhaps maybe...
I'm thinking between Downfall and The Pianist.
I would say maybe American Psycho.
Would you put that up as far as that, yeah? Ah, yeah, you know what, I'd probably agree with that. It's a brilliant film, but out of those...
Yeah.
I would probably agree with that. And then I'd say it's a toss-up between Gladiator, Downfall or The Pianist.
See, Downfall, that's a phenomenal film, John, but this is really hard. Why did we do this?
The Pianist, I can't speak highly enough about that film. That film had me actually fucking blubbering like a baby. Just because, John, and what it represents, sort of indefatigability of human spirit. This guy just barely clinging on to life. Sort of war machine of the Nazi sort of Wehrmacht.
I'll tell you what, I think number 8 should be Spider-Man 2.
You think so, yeah? Wow.
Yeah. I love the film, John, but this is hard.
And by the way, Chopin's Nocturne in, is it C sharp minor or something like that Vladislav Spielman played to the sort of commander that ultimately saved his life. That was fucking one of my favourite pieces of classical music.
See, just the way you're speaking about The Pianist, John, I would have to be in the top 5, I think.
Oh, I don't know, because there's so many great films ahead of it, Stephen. It'd be tough. It's up to,
I thought it was a great film, John, but I think you're more in tune with it than myself.
Just because I'm obsessed with World War II, though, Stephen, and all the different sort of stories that came out of it, and it always amazes me. Just the desire to survive in horrendous conditions. I mean, there's stories of little kids Jewish kids having to sort of masquerade as Catholics and whatnot just to fucking survive through, and their whole families are wiped out. You kind of see that in The Pianist. His whole family gets sent to Auschwitz, and just by sheer chance he manages to stay away and just survive again and again. And then they just drop in that little bit of humanity from the German side. to reveal that whilst a lot of them were absolute bastards and murderous, evil, drugged out their minds lunatics, there is just little moments like Schindler's List of humanity where people will step in and do the right thing.
Schindler's maybe number 2?
What's that?
Was Schindler's List maybe number 2?
Schindler's List may have been number 2. I don't know.
It's terrible we can't remember.
I don't think it was though. I don't think it was. I can't remember. It was number 2.
Do you know something? While you're deciding where The Pianist should go,
I would probably put The Pianist there just now. It's a brilliant film. I really enjoyed it. As much as you can enjoy a film about human suffering and fucking innocent people getting murdered. I mean, there's one scene in particular stands out from The Pianist where they're in the Warsaw ghetto and the Nazis do a raid on a building across and they throw an old disabled guy in a wheelchair from the top, one of the top floors, which is just horrific. But it showed you the complete... What was it?
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, of course, man. I mean, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, Stephen, I think out of these two, it's tough to pick. But I think, I mean, saying that, I'm just assuming Downfall's getting right up there. I mean, I'd almost go as far as to say probably Gladiator gets fucking up there. Whilst it's an epic story. It's an epic story and it's an incredible performance from Russell Crowe and it's one of Ridley Scott's greatest movies. I'd still think out of those, it's a touch long. And I just don't think it's as good as those movies that are ahead. Downfall, I mean, what would you rate higher, Stephen, Inglourious Basterds or Downfall? They're totally different kinds of films.
I think Downfall, as much as I like Inglourious Basterds,
I have to agree with that. You know that?
I think Downfall just pinpoints the accuracy of that period, that moment in history. And Bruno Ganz, in terms of his performance, I think the performances in Inglourious Basterds was really, really good. But obviously based off real events with fictional characters and fictional scenarios, maybe replicating scenarios, but I think Tarantino did a really good job of that, particularly in those lounge scenes that you mentioned.
He excels at that though, Stephen, doesn't he?
Yeah.
At taking sort of real historical moments and then putting an alternate take on it where the good guys win.
Yeah, I think that's the first time he did it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he's did it a few times since, obviously.
It obviously really empowers. For a guy that's apparently staunchly anti-female and mistreats his female actors, by fuck, he doesn't have to put some amount of strong female leads in his movies. You think of the French sort of film enthusiast that runs the theatre. Also, she's not... Is she French? Yeah. Obviously, the Jewish lass that survives at the start.
Yeah, she's French, yeah.
She's French. She's a really prominent figure in this film. Throughout the film. And also she does ultimately die, but she... What is he called again? I always forget fucking the character's name. I'm a real Frederick Zola. I think your man saying that from this range, I'm a real Frederick Zola. Obviously it's Daniel Brühl. Daniel Brühl. I mean, Stephen, that's how good the cast in this movie is. You're forgetting almost about Daniel Brühl. Daniel Brühl is fucking incredible. But he's like an afterthought in this film. So... There's so much going on in Inglourious Basterds. It's probably, beside Pulp Fiction, my favourite Tarantino movie. So many big personalities. And like the great director he is, he tames them all and gets brilliant performances. And it's just a great sort of World War II story. There's the right amount of humour in there. There's just sheer tension in that basement sequence. And your man that plays the Gestapo guy is fucking incredible as well.
Yeah.
Just the fact
that... And you've also got cameos in there from Mike Myers and Rod Taylor from The Time Machine. I think it was one of Rod's last movies, if I'm not mistaken. Mike Myers, he's playing a British, I don't know, captain or something like that, isn't it?
What, general?
Yeah, I think Rod Taylor plays Churchill, does he? I can't remember.
He may do, yeah.
But I mean, there's so many moments in the film, John, and obviously you've got Eli Roth in there. He's the
scalper.
He's got a name. I can't remember.
Is he the scalper? I can't remember that.
He's the scalper.
The scalper, yeah.
Yeah.
What is he called again?
It's probably offensive, John. The name. No, no luck. If I do remember it, I'm not saying it. But no, I think in terms of it's a well-structured film as well. It's not Tarantino's usual going back and forth,
No.
with a timeline and anything like that. It pretty much falls into real-time sequence, doesn't it?
And Steve, what he does with the
for
Landa character is brilliant as well. Because he's a staunch
think
Nazi, he's just a complete opportunist though. And we've seen this in real life with the likes of fucking Himmler and whatnot, or even big fat fucker, Goring. But they almost tried to slink their way out of justice at the end of the war by trying to do deals with the Americans or the Allied forces. So they'd forget about all their convictions and their beliefs when they thought their neck was going to be on the line. And we see that with the Landa character. That is his name, isn't it? Landa, I always butcher his name. Christoph Waltz character.
Christoph Waltz. That was the first film I saw him in, John. I don't know about yourself.
It was the first film I seen him in as well, yeah.
The first scene in that farmhouse was incredible.
Oh,
so
Steve, it's absurd to terrifying. In fact, he can speak multiple languages. I think he speaks in French and then he maybe speaks in something else, and then I think they go to English. Is it English then go to French? Or it's not French, but he speaks multiple languages. He's a multilingualist, isn't he? In real life as well. And the fact that he knows they're hiding below the floorboards and he's whipping out this big pipe and whatnot, and it's just fucking unbelievable performance. Never heard of the guy prior to it, and he just delivers a special performance. And he's so clever, you know that he's hyper alert and aware of everything that's going on. The strudel scene.
Incredible, yeah.
I mean, that got me into fucking strudels.
He can really take the sort of ordinary and make it extraordinary. And he does it so many times in his films. John, another film, the honourable mention was, of course, Death Proof. And there's a sequence in that where it's like I don't know how long, it might be more than 7 minutes. It's a one take for the second set of girls, and it's the camera's just rotating around them all in this diner. And there's no cuts or anything like that. It's incredible. Piece of cinema. Again, an honourable mention, but he does this in all his films where he has these sort of long dialogue moments. And it really sets everything up for what's coming every time. And you're just so pulled in by the performances, and particularly Christoph Waltz in this case. In that farm scene, but the strudel scene as well. He has two big moments where he really, I'm trying to say, try to justify the actions of the Nazis, and he does that. There's no justification for it. I have to put that on record, but it's just the dialogue is so intriguing to listen to these people and their beliefs and how they believe what they are doing is right when it's clearly wrong.
Oh yeah, I mean it's generations of historic sort of anti-Semitism and blaming all of the world's problems on a group of people. That's what happens, Stephen. Even now we're seeing that in this country, where the top 1% who control things and have all the wealth are blaming people who've got not a pot to piss in. And the masses buy it hook, line and sinker. So
fight amongst themselves,
Yeah, we've seen that before. They like to split up and fracture society. And that was what happened in Europe. It led to obviously World War II. Maybe World War One as well, I don't know. I know it was Archduke Franz Ferdinand. But I'm not as well studied in World War One. World War Two. But no, Steve, it's a great movie, man. It is. It's one of his best movies, and it's just brilliant performances. I mean, Brad Pitt's almost an afterthought at times as well in this film, and he's got some brilliant, the Buongiorno stuff. And the general presence. I think it's right to put it there. I think Downfall's a more serious World War II film. We spoke about it last night. Just the performance from Bruno, showcased in the absolute turmoil and descent into madness in the final moments. The innocents who are the innocent because they're in the sort of close circles of evil. But there's maybe people who are forced to be there for work. And they're kind of stuck, languishing in this fucking hellhole when the Soviets are sort of circling in.
Bruno Ganzi's performance, and there's an iconic rant that's been memed so many times. But that's probably the standout scene for most people who have seen this film. Shocking. Just in terms of the performance, you just can't believe, you can't really separate the actor from the person. That's how good Bruno Ganz is. And I said last night, we've seen Adolf Hitler portrayed in other films, Indiana Jones and stuff like that, and it's always that
time for Hitler in Germany. Producers.
Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah. That was deliberate though. That was through the sort of imagination, wasn't it, of a fucking 7-year-old boy. And Taika to do that, that was ballsy. Because obviously his background. For him to take that on, you've got to fucking take a hat.
To take the piss out of him.
Yeah. No, Stephen, I mean, the fact that it's in the actual German-speaking language as well, I mean, that just adds authenticity. I enjoy the likes of Valkyrie and whatnot in these other war movies, but when they're speaking in English accents, it just takes you out. So when you get an actual proper German language movie, and Steve, we've said it time and again.
Your name.
Oh, I know. You know, I mean, I go on about Valkyrie, but I have to say they make, is it Cloud Van Stauffenberg, who was the lead conspirator, one of the co-conspirators. They make him out to be this hero figure. He was trying to end Nazism. He fucking wasn't. Let me tell you. He just wanted to take him out because he thought there was a way to maybe win the war or save their own necks. They were fucking Nazis as well. Fucking old Nazi bastards. Kid yourself. They just wanted to get rid of him and try and win the war. For conquering Europe. Don't let them kid you. Fucking clown on his horse. But no, Stephen, I mean, when it's authentic German language, it elevates it. And what a performance. Stephen, the final three through to one. Get the Dark Knight, we've got Two Towers, and we've got the Return of the King.
Yeah. John, this is when most things will probably fall into place now when I say this, but Return of the King and Two Towers, out of both of them, Return of the King's my favourite. I think Two Towers is a phenomenal film, but for me, Return of the King is just the perfect film of this decade in terms of everything you want from this franchise. And it's just that conclusion. I think just being on that journey for so many hours, the extended versions, etc., and just seeing this all play out and theatrically. It took decades to get to that point. Peter Jackson succeeded in getting those stories translated onto the big screen. A very mean feat. And you saw all those rewards in Return of the King. But saying that, Two Towers has got some iconic moments as well.
Deep, yeah.
Really big iconic moments, and some introducing the Bernard Hill character. And I'm blanking on his name, John.
Is it Feuden?
Yeah.
You talking about the Rohirrim?
I'm blanking on the actor's name. He was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, etc., John. I'll need to look him up.
I'll search it up just now.
Yeah, a phenomenal actor, John, and I'm blanking on his name. He was in an X-Files episode as well.
Let's have a little gander.
It's your man. He played Billy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Hey, why am I blanking on his name as well? What the fuck? But obviously, Steve Mill, you're looking for that. You've got Christopher.
Brad Dourif.
Brad Dourif.
Yeah. A phenomenal actor, John. He plays Wormtongue.
Well, oh, yeah, Wormtongue. Yeah, Wormtongue.
And for that, it's one of the reasons I love the Two Towers. It's why it's in the top 10. It's a really good film. I had a bad experience, obviously, watching this film the last time, John, when I had COVID. And that was this film. I was absolutely in hysterics. I was hallucinating, and I felt I was in this film.
And just fucking whooping.
I suppose the question, John, you have to ask yourself, and I'll pose this question to you, is does The Dark Knight separate both films, both Lord of the Rings films?
I don't think so, Steve. No. I think these are two of the greatest movies ever made. And a sort of popular movie, you can go down the whole artsy route and go Japanese and French and pick out other examples. I'm not doing that because I'm not a twat. I think they're two of the greatest movies ever made. Genuinely, I think the trilogy is one of the greatest, if not the greatest trilogies ever made. Just the technical, detail to the story, the characters, the casting, Ian McKellen, fucking just Viggo Mortensen, Liv Tyler, they're all perfect. Christopher Lee coming in not long before he passed away, lending that incredible voice and that presence. This is a fucking English theatre trained actor, one of the truly great sort of thespians of his generation. They're all in there. I mean, there's so many epic moments in these movies, Steve.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking for photos. I obviously put Aragorn on the thumbnail, because you have to.
Yeah.
And I was going to pick the moment when he turns around and kind of smiles before they go into that final sort of battle. Yeah. And it's just, there's so many moments, this stuff with the Rohirrim, if I can fucking speak, riding in.
Is this the ghosts?
Yeah. Obviously, what are they called again? What are they called again? I've not read The Lord of the Rings in such a long time.
They're damned, aren't they?
Yeah, they're sort of like traitors. They kind of, they walked away from.
And they have a chance to redeem themselves,
Yep. And obviously he's got a pledge, he walks in. That whole stuff as well, Stephen. The stuff with obviously Saruman and the Two Towers, him coming at the forefront and turning evil. You've got Gandalf coming back from his supposed death in Moria as Gandalf the White. So many, and I was about to call him his full Sunday name, Peregrine Took Merry Adult Brandybuck, Merry and Pippin. Their sort of stuff, the singing in The Return of the King. There's so many epic fucking moments. You've got Smeagol and Gollum and schizophrenic performance from Andy Serkis. There's so much going on in there. Much going on in there. It's just really dense, brilliantly adapted. I know he gets a lot of shit from people saying, you missed this out, you didn't do this.
Yeah.
Stephen, I'm a huge fan of The Lord of the Rings and J.R.R. Tolkien, but a lot of the novels are just walking and talking, and it takes a long time to get from A to Z. He made it entertaining. And
that's that,
across 3 films, done a fucking phenomenal job of adapting. But these two are the absolute cream of the crop.
John, that's particularly Return of the King, I may be wrong.
No, I agree. I think it's a better movie.
In terms of Academy Awards, the amount of Academy Awards that film,
I think they all won pretty well.
2003, I think it was, or 2000. I can't remember. It's 2002, 2003, but it's just, I mean, it's
Orlando Bloom, Stephen Legolas, and Gimli. The dynamic of those two.
Yeah, but just in terms of where we were talking about it before we did last night's show. In terms of Lord of the Rings being broken up into obviously 3 stories, and like the Kill Bill films, we kind of, and I would put Dune in there as well. Dune, is 2 films, but it's 1 story. I don't really separate part 1, part 2 in Dune, and the same with Kill Bill. I kind of do that with Lord of the Rings as well. And we've talked about it. Should we just put them in? But I don't think that does it justice, John, because these films, on their own sort of merit, have got so many qualities as individual films rather than as part of a big story.
Yeah, I'm just looking up David Wenham, who played Faramir. He's 60 years old. Yeah. Oh my fucking God. When was this out? This was out in 2003, so you're talking 22 years ago. He'd have been 38.
Yeah.
Faramir. Stephen, the Faramir story was great as well. You had Denethor, obviously the steward of Gondor, and he had a complete disregard for Faramir. Fucking thought he was inferior to Boromir. He really resented the fact that Boromir left and perished and he was left with him. Yeah. And his sort of longing.
Burn him alive.
Tried to burn him alive, yeah. He was a prick, absolute. But he lost his mind. Wasn't, I mean, just totally, he was gone.
Just when you're talking about it as well.
He was dabbling with Palantir as well, wasn't he? And sort of communicating with like Sauron. Sauron was corrupting him.
John, Billy Boyd's moment singing as well is one of the most hairs in the back of your neck moment. He's a lovely voice in terms of his singing. Maybe I'm biased because he's Scottish, but that song, very Celtic sounding, and the instruments playing as well was just one of the standout moments. Yeah, the tomatoes.
Yeah.
But the
always
singing was
maintain I'd
fantastic.
fucking rattle that group. I'd be an
John, they
absolute...
had during COVID, Josh Gad was doing those Friends Reunited sort of things, and he got the Lord of the Rings people on, and I think he got Billy Boyd to do a little bit of that song, and they were all almost tearing up with it. So a big moment for him as well in that film.
Stephen, it's just the sort of all of the dynamics within the film, like Sam and Frodo. You've obviously got I'm blanking on her name just now, but she's Eowyn, and her desire to go out and fight. There's just so much stuff going on with all the different characters, isn't it? Obviously, Gimli's doing his tally and he's how many orcs have killed with Legolas here, got an ongoing battle. Arwen and obviously Elrond and the stuff with Aragorn and whether he's obviously going to marry her, she's going to give up her sort of immortality to stay with him. The ending in The Return of the King, so obviously with Frodo passing through and the fact they come back to the Shire. It's just it's fucking nothing's really changed, but no one probably really understands what they've went through. But
John,
that's the whole point. They are innocent in a sense, and that's what they were doing it for. They were doing it to protect that sort of innocent.
I watched a
lifestyle.
reaction. It was multiple reactions of the scene in Return of the King when Viggo Mortensen says the line, I think the hobbits are ready to bow to the king, and he says, "You bow to no one." I can't remember what it is, but it was such an incredible moment. You know, and I was watching it, and everyone was like bubbling and tearing up because it was such an iconic moment in that series of films.
Stephen, you think of the
really, really powerful.
You think of the sort of growth of Aragorn as well. He goes from Strider, this sort of straggly looking fucking skinny geezer in the dark corner of a pub to being the king of sort of Gondor, the sort of leader of Middle Earth. What a journey.
I'm looking forward to the Andy Serkis film, John, The Hunt for Gold.
I really am, Stephen. Andy's a brilliant director. He's a brilliant actor and he's passionate about this story. He's come back time and again. Also, he done second unit directing, didn't he, on The Hobbit as well? So he's, I think Andy's brilliant. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting these people back as well. Because you kind of have to for continuity. If you have to DH, you have to DH. But Stephen, even Viggo, we're talking about Viggo. I mean, what a casting. I don't think he was originally picked. They landed on him. And just perfect. You couldn't imagine anyone else playing Aragorn.
Definitely not.
And even down to Sean Astin and people like that. It's just everything about them that were casted.
In terms of Viggo Mortensen, John, and getting cast as Aragorn, you know, it's almost, for me anyway, it's Harrison Ford being cast as Han Solo. Just, you can't think of anyone else playing the role. You know, although he probably wasn't even top choice at the time, you know, in the end, it worked out well.
Absolutely, yeah. No, Stephen, I mean, for me, like I says, they deserve to be 1 and 2. Dark Knight, I mean, we've not even really spoken about the Dark Knight, but then we have numerous times in this channel. To me, it's one of, I don't even want to call it a comic book movie, because it's not, it's a fucking, I mean, it is a comic book movie, but to me it isn't. What Nolan deliberately did is he made these sort of darker, grittier, more realistic stories. And Heath Ledger's Joker is just, I mean, I fucking watch that interrogation scene once or twice a month. And it's the first time they were acting alongside each other, Christian Bale and Heath Ledger. And any of the doubters and the naysayers of Heath's casting, the minute they sat down and watched that, I mean, I know that wasn't the first scene. I think the first time he...
You know the scene where Joker comes into Bruce's apartment and he grabs Maggie Gyllenhaal's character, Rachel, and he's kind of doing art with her.
Yeah.
For a moment, it looks like the actress is looking for the director to pull the scene because she's rattled, absolutely rattled with fear. And that's Heath's presence, that's his performance in that. And I think Michael Caine has been on record to say that that was the first time he saw Heath in makeup, and he was rattled. He was taken aback, just with his look. Phenomenal, really, some great standout scenes. John, the heist scene that opens the film up, incredible. Just, I think it was shot in IMAX, and just so many moments, isn't there? You know, and that sort of cat and mouse thing going on with the Joker tried to draw Bruce, who doesn't know it's Bruce Wayne, but draw Batman out
Batman
to reveal
out,
himself. Yeah,
Steve, I think he did know it was Bruce. I was just thinking, that's the whole point of Joker. He's sort of so switched on, even in the comic books. He's aware he's in a comic book. Like he knows he's just playing a game and seeing if he can force him out from the shadows. And ultimately, he fucking doesn't. I think he says that, doesn't he? Something about letting Harvey take the fall for you. Even for a man like me, that's cold. He fucking knows exactly who it is.
Aaron Eckhart as well.
Yep.
Was phenomenal in this film. He really held his own up against Christian Bale and Heath Ledger in terms of that trio. And an important part of the middle part of the story and everything that went afterwards. Obviously, his character does, although he's not in the film, plays a massive part in The Dark Knight Rises as well.
Yeah, it's his legacy. Yeah, I'm trying to protect it. Stephen, obviously, David Dismalkin, the whole assassination scene.
Yeah.
Fucking unbelievable. Just the music, the sight of Joker without the makeup on, and the chaos. It's just such a fucking great movie. The score is unreal. It's your man, isn't it? I'm blanking on his name just now, which is absolutely terrible. Hans Zimmer. That's Zimmer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everything. It's just an incredible movie, Stephen. So many great set pieces. The stuff with the truck flipping, the phone inside the prisoner. Obviously, he uses that after the interrogation sequence to break out. The sort of motorcycle that was going round corners and stuff like that was all kind of practical. They kind of built an actual practical version of that. Just an incredible film. Again, the palette, colour palettes and the visuals and everything. Costume design of Joker's just perfect. The suit, the fucking fabric, the shirt, down to his socks. Just brilliant film. One of the greatest films ever made. And thoroughly deserving. I think he should have won, even if he didn't pass away tragically. He should have been up for that Academy Award and winning it, regardless, because it's one of the great performances.
Yeah, I don't think his death had anything to do with him winning it, John. I think
people always assume that, or kind of insinuate that it did, but it didn't. It was the performance.
No. It was, John. I think I remember the night I found out, he died. I was up very late, so here in the UK, and absolutely stunned, and this was before The Dark Knight came out. We went to see it in the cinema on its release, and it was just an incredible experience. Him coming in with the laugh, ha, ha, he, ha, ho, ho, ha, ha, into that sort of kitchen scene was so chilling. You could actually feel, the sort of atmosphere in the theatre that night, just everyone just paying attention to Heath Ledger coming in, because obviously we knew at this point, he was no longer with us, and just at the very end, there was a round of applause as well, just for the film, which you don't normally see in Glasgow. You don't normally see in the UK.
Stephen, it's
We're very conservative here, but
one of my biggest regrets not seeing that film in a theatre.
Yeah.
One of my biggest regrets. I only seen one of the Dark Knight films in the theatre, and it was Dark Knight Rises, and it's the weakest of the three.
20th anniversary, John.
Yeah, I would love to go and see that in the theatre. One of my big regrets not getting to see it. I know Thomas Gravison, ex-footballer, was fucking obsessed with it. I think he went and seen it about 50 times in the theatre. Because your man Simon Ferry told a story about how they went on a pre-season tour of Ireland, and he bought them all tickets to go and see it. So yeah, I mean, he's a crackpot, by the way. But a fucking unbelievable film. But for me, Stephen, the two Lord of the Rings films are they're a bit better. They are legendary. You think of the 2000s, you think of that immediately. Yeah. Just like with the 80s, you think of Back to the Future, Star Wars. 90s, it's a little bit tougher because there wasn't any real standout franchise, just great movies across the board. But 2000s, you think probably Star Wars prequel trilogy, to be fair, as well, to an extent, even though they weren't at that level. You still think of it. Yeah. But Lord of the Rings is the franchise. Yeah. And it's not just a franchise, it's fucking epic. For me, the greatest fucking novels ever written. I don't think there's anything better. They're the greatest novels ever written. Sort of fantasy novels anyway. And that's the greatest adaptation of said novels. The Rings of Power shows you it's not a fucking shoe-in. You can make a complete pig's ear of it, and they did. Jackson didn't. I'm reluctant to just say Peter Jackson, because it wasn't just him. There was other people involved. That's going to round it up, guys. We're done here. Oh, I don't think there's any other manoeuvring getting done here. That's your top 50. That's how we've ranked it. And we've got the Lord of the Rings, Return of the King at 1, Two Towers at 2, Dark Knight at 3, Downfall at 4, Glorious Bastards 5, Gladiator 6, The Pianist 7, Spider-Man 2 8, American Psycho at 9, and Batman Begins at 10. I'm not doing the rest because I'll be here until I'm fucking old and grey. God knows that's starting already. Get about 6 or 7 white hairs in my beard. Just for Men's going to be getting broke out shortly. You get a ginger and brown versions though and mix them. That's not going to happen. No chance. Where would you rank the top 50 movies of the 2000s though? I'm intrigued. Share your thoughts down below about what you'd rank 1 through 10, 1 through 50 if you can be asked. Thoughts on their ranking. Any thoughts at all, pop them down below in the comments section. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get notifications for future content like this. Follow button, notifications button over on Twitch to see us live over there, but doing the exact same thing as on YouTube. And until next time, thank you for the comments. I didn't see them, but thank you for the comments. And until next time, all that's left to be said really is thanks for watching us. Bye-bye. Said thank you twice here. But I'm really thankful, guys.
We appreciate you.